Man, playing basketball with my friends, especially from high school, was so fun. I should play sports, especially with my friends, more often. It's Mac. Hey Mac, what do you want? Huh, you're inviting me to your house. Okay, I'll be there. Hopefully our conflict is fully resolved. Bye. It's time.
I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Ah, that must be Boris. Hello Boris. Welcome to my house that's not far away from yours.
Ugh, hello Mac. Now why did you invite me here?
For a meeting.
That's it.
Oh, it's a surprise meeting, all right.
Okay, let's just get this over with.
Very well. So Boris, why in the world did you quit your sales associate job at Walmart? How insane do you have to be to do that when my store was, and is struggling, for God's sake?
Because Mac, I didn't want to get promoted and my job was good and well paying enough. Perhaps my job was a bit too well paying, but still. And you do know better than not to hire more high positioned workers, I know it.
Oh Boris. Boris. Our store's been struggling more since you left because you were our best sales associate, and if you quit your job, the less people will be helped, which can lead to the decrease of sales. Which is what's happened to our store.
I don't want you to be unsuccessful, but really, you know better than this, and everyone deserves to be free from tyranny, like you've always been telling me to accept your offer, and this was happening because of your lack of leadership.
Oh Boris, I didn't know you were such a comedian. I was never a dictator and I never will be.
Sure. Now exactly what is this meeting about?
Well Boris, it's about who you'll choose to work for, me, or Ron. I want you to hear me out when I say that working for me will forever be better than working for Ron. But first, I'd like you to hear my revelation. I think the roles of high-positioned workers, like account executives, aren't as important as those of sales associates, and so I decided to pay my sales associates very well and hire a lot of them, so that our store would be focused on helping customers, but at the same time, crumble with less high-positioned workers. And also I pressured you to accept my offer, because you were my best sales associate, and I actually wanted you to quit your job, so I could guilt trip you, because who in the world would do that? You know? I always hated being a sales manager, because managing sales is so stressful, and they don't deserve stress, so I decided to let sales decrease to the point where our store is at risk of closure. And yet for some reason, our store manager rehired me.
Well, it's a good thing you don't want to be a sales manager, because you weren't, and aren't, a good one.
Oh, that's why? You don't care about what I go through.
Oh Mac, you do know you can just quit your job, right?
But here's the thing Boris. I want to stay a sales manager so I could make the closure of our store happen. And our store manager believes in giving people a second chance, and she believes that I can do something about our store's sales and hire more high-positioned workers and pay them more. But even if I know what I've been doing, I just wanted to stress myself by not giving a crap about our store's sales and bringing the store closer to closure. But now Boris, if you work for me again, I'll actually do my job and hire more high-positioned workers, and you can be my sales associate again. Everything will be normal if you work for me, and my job will be less stressful.
I just have a question. Do you think Ron would believe this to be true?
Unfortunately no. Because that cocky sales manager has never trusted me, even when I wasn't lying.
And how often would you talk with him?
Not often, just a few times. If only the store you work at was even less successful than ours. Because Boris, every Walmart should be at least slightly more successful than every Target, as Walmart sells more products than Target.
So far, I want to keep working for Ron.
You know what? How about we pay Ron a visit, wherever he is?
Okay, sure.
3 minutes later. Oh, my God. It's you, Ron.
Yeah, Mac, it's me. How can I help you? Hey, wait, what's Boris doing with you?
Well, he and I want to talk with you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Boris. Let us know exactly how your work experience at Target has been.
Hey Ron.
Hey, Boris.
I just want to say that working at Target has been much better than working at Walmart, because you never pressured me to accept your offer and have always treated all of us with respect. And so I'm grateful to have a boss like you.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome. Mac on the other hand. He's been hiring too many sales associates like me to put his store at risk of closure.
What an insane sales manager. I just can't believe it. How come your store manager rehired you, Mac?
Well, the funny thing is I always hated being a sales manager, causing me to not give a crap about sales and put our store at risk of closure. But apparently our overly optimistic store manager rehired me because she believed in me when I'd never want to be a sales manager.
Okay.
Now Boris, allow me to finally explain why you should work for me. How often have you had fun working at Target?
I mean, I've been simply having a good time working at Target. We don't really have fun, but we do our jobs with peace and pleasure.
Meanwhile at our store, we often crack jokes to make the work environment more lively.
That's good. But let's see what Boris has to say.
Ah yes. I remember us doing that. Good times. Good times.
See? And Boris, do you remember your sales associate friends at our store? They were the most supportive friends ever, right?
Yeah, but the thing is my friends at Target are just as supportive, but actually, I do have more memories of working at Walmart, and they're good memories. But I mean, I only recently started working at Target, and Ron has already made my life simpler by not pressuring me to accept his offer. Mac did tell me though that if I work for him again, he'll actually do his job and hire more high-positioned workers and I can be his sales associate again and everything will be normal.
Boris, Mac's lying to you. Don't work for him again. It's not worth it.
Well, Max told me how you never trust him, literally, never.
Mac will do anything to get what he wants, especially his store closing, as he'll still dislike his job and want to distress himself by driving the store to closure.
Who do I trust?
Me, since Mac did lie about you on the news the other day.
Oh yes, that's right.
Well, I just wanted Boris to feel ashamed for what he did. But it looks like Boris isn't completely unsympathetic, so it might all be in the past now.
But you do know defamation is a crime, right? It is illegal to defame people, especially on the news.
Well, it's not like I'll be imprisoned. I have one of the best attorneys ever, likely better than yours. And besides, I wasn't lying when I mentioned what would happen if Boris worked for me again. Like if I rehired Boris, I wouldn't dislike my job to the point where I'd drive our store to closure. And if I hired more high-positioned workers, which is what Boris would want me to do, I'd pay them more and my job would be easier and no one would have to endure stress.
But Boris had told me how you made his friend Mr. Hinkle quit his job as he didn't always want to be pressured to accept your offer. And he was your second best sales associate, but you rehired him and your store was still struggling because you dislike your job no matter what.
Wow, thanks for bringing that up, Ron. Now Mac, do you know how your son's doing? Have you done anything to him?
Oh, he's doing well, and I made him read the Bible for a whole day. He enjoys reading it.
I don't think his son likes reading the Bible, especially for a whole day.
Yeah, me neither. And we should bring Mac to justice once and for all. He's untrustworthy.
You know, it should happen today.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect.
How old is your son exactly?
21.
We should still liberate his son from him.
That's a good idea. Maybe he can live at your house.
Yeah, that's also a good idea.
So Boris, it's time to decide who you're gonna work for. Are you gonna work for me? Or for Ron?
I choose to work for Ron.
I knew you wanted to work for me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello Mac.
Hey Pamela.
What's wrong?
My former sales associate Boris officially wants to work for someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're gonna do something to make our store thrive.
Don't worry, my lack of leadership is no more. I'm gonna do my job correctly this time.
Actually, he's not. Listen to this. Boris had told me how you made his friend Mr. Hinkle quit his job as he didn't always want to be pressured to accept your offer. And he was your second best sales associate, but you rehired him and your store was still struggling because you dislike your job no matter what.
I didn't know he disliked his job and he'd still dislike it, and that would be the reason why our store's sales are low. I think I'm gonna have to fire Mac. So who are you, sir?
Ron Lee, a local Target sales manager.
Oh, well, I'm Pamela Smith, a local Walmart store manager.
Nice to meet you. And Mac deserves to get fired, all right.
Apparently, yeah. Well Mac, I found out you dislike your job and that's the reason why our store's sales are low. probably since you don't care about our store's sales and want to distress yourself by driving our store to closure. I should have known, and for that, as a forgiving store manager, I must fire you. I mean, you haven't liked your job, so please thank me for doing this.
Oh yeah, let's go. Thank you, Pamela.
Yeah, now I'm gonna leave. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Woohoo.
I'm glad you're happy, but be careful.
Huh. Oh no, my trackers to track Boris, who I no longer track, and Scott, who I still track.
Yep, now that's called stalking.
Breaking news. The local Walmart has reached its lowest amount of sales that decreased by 2% more after having decreased by 12% last week. We now have Walter Peterson on the scene to interview Mac Robinson. Walter?
Thank you, Kyle. So near me is Mac Robinson, a Walmart sales manager who was actually just fired by his boss, or the local Walmart store manager, Pamela Smith. Now I must ask, what are these trackers doing on the ground?
Oh, someone accidentally dropped them. They're not mine though.
Oh no, they're his. I'm Boris Anderson, and I'd like to state the truth. I was never a selfish Walmart sales associate, and proof is that Mac called me his best sales associate. Listen.
Oh Boris. Boris. Our store's been struggling more since you left because you were our best sales associate.
You're right.
Yeah, Mac defamed me and I want him to be brought to justice, and he's been tracking me and his son Scott without our permission, even if he stopped tracking me. Still, that's called stalking.
You're right.
You may remember me, Ron Lee, a local Target sales manager, and I want to confirm Boris's words. He's telling the truth and I'm gonna call the police on Mac right now. He's untrustworthy and needs to learn from his actions.
Oh crap, I must hide from the police.
Oh no, Mac, you can run, but you can't hide.
I hate your cocky facial expression.
I don't care, you're still gonna go to jail. I'm sorry, but you do need to change.
No I don't. I've already been fired, and they promised to treat my son better. There's no need for me to change. In prison.
God, Mac, can you at least tell the truth once? You'd never treat your son better than before.
Oh yes I would.
I think it's time for me to help out Scott.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Dad, I've read the Bible. Wait, Boris, what are you doing here? And where's my dad?
Hey there, I'm here to ask you if you'd like to live with us, and your dad is going to jail.
Yeah, I don't want to live by myself. And if my dad is actually going to jail, I'll be so happy.
Yes, and I'm a reason why Mac's going to jail.
Oh Boris, how can I ever thank you?
Yep, you're welcome. Now let's go see Mac get arrested.
Yay.
Sir, put your hands up. Okay, sir, I have a warrant for your arrest, so you're under arrest for defamation and stalking that involved tracking two people's locations without authorization.
No.
Stop resisting, let's go.
Curse you everyone, especially you, son.
Whatever you say, bozo.
Well now you're gonna be living with your stricter mom.
My mom may be strict, but at least she actually loves and cares about me and doesn't severely punish me.
Rats.
Welcome to our house.
Huh, it looks similar to our house.
Yeah, but at least this is a house of freedom. Doris, Caillou, Rosie, we have company.
Hi, I'm Doris.
I'm Scott, Mac Robinson's son.
Hi, I'm Caillou.
Hey, you're real? I used to watch your show. It was decent. I'm Scott, Mac Robinson's son.
Hi, I'm Rosie.
I'm Scott, Mac Robinson's son.
Oh hey Mr. Hinkle.
Hey Miss Smith.
Our sales manager has just been arrested for defamation and stalking, so that position is currently open. Would you like to become our sales manager? We need a good sales manager. You seem like you'll be a good sales manager.
Yes, that would be an honor.
Well Mr. Hinkle, you're now our sales manager.
Thank you Miss Smith.
Of course.
A week later.
Breaking news, the local Walmart sales have increased by 18%. After Paul Hinkle became the Walmart sales manager. Good job, Paul.